So Tulsi Gabbard is releasing these short video clips on her YouTube channel from the campaign trail. Right now she's in Iowa. Take a look.
There's an issue that is central to the rest, and that issue is the issue of war and peace and the cost of war. We must address this issue. In ending these regime change wars, ending this new Cold War to remove this dark shadow of a nuclear catastrophe that sits over us today. Then we can take our limited and precious resources and focus on investing them and rebuilding in our communities here at home, investing them in our families, investing them in our future. Nice to meet you. I don't take any PAC money. I've signed on to... Thank you. Thanks for being here. Yeah, exactly. Where's your jacket? It's inside. There's word of a snowstorm. I thought, okay, everyone's going to hunker down at home, make a fire. Thank you all for coming out tonight. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
As a Marine myself, I respect you on so many levels.
As both political parties, frankly, are more concerned about beating each other and the hyper-partisanship that consumes Washington. And meanwhile, people and communities here in Iowa and Hawaii and across the country are left behind.
So it looks like she has a pretty experienced documentary team with her on the campaign trail, because those are highly produced quality videos there. Like the quality is really high. So she keeps putting war front and center, and she's doing that. First of all, that's a brilliant political move, because what she's doing is taking the issue of war and hooking into it the issue of infrastructure and how we need these funds for our own country. And that's a powerful, powerful message. In fact, there's a strong argument that that was one of the reasons why Trump won, is because that's a theme he kept hitting on the campaign trail, is I'm going to stop outsourcing your jobs. I'm going to stop the regime change wars, and I'm going to use the money to rebuild our own country. And Tulsi's making that case. And with Tulsi, there's a less... Trump spoke out of both sides of his mouth and contradicted himself. With Tulsi, she's not doing that. She's just saying, yeah, I'm against regime change wars, and we need to rebuild our own country with our precious resources. Why are we wasting them overseas? So that's a powerful case to make. And then the other thing that she's doing that I think is really important, and honestly, I think she's massively underrated at this point in terms of what kind of an impact she's going to have on the race. I think she'll have a bigger impact than most people realize. She keeps attacking both political parties. Now, this is something that high-paid idiot Democratic strategists would tell you, oh, how could you? Don't do that. But really, this is another example you're not going to be surprised to hear. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Okay? There's a reason why Congress has an approval rating of 19%. There's a reason why people feel like Congress is bought and owned. There's a reason why there's this hatred towards the political establishment. It's there. So if you run against the two parties, even though she's running from within the two parties, it's the only viable way to actually win, but if her message is against the two parties, that resonates big time, even in a Democratic primary. In the same way it works in a Republican primary too, because people are sick of the status quo. So here comes somebody saying, I don't like either one of them, and let me tell you what I'm about. And that resonates, man. So I think she's still underrated, and as time goes by, when the debates happen and whatnot, you'll see that she's more of a force to be reckoned with than people realize. And this message is potent. It's a potent message. Because honestly, think about it. Even Bernie Sanders hasn't put war front and center. Now, I actually think some people say, oh, Bernie's got a blind spot on foreign policy. To the extent that he does, it's not as big as most people make it out to be. I actually think he's good on most of the foreign policy issues. But it is certainly true that he does not put war front and center. He's more domestic and economic policy front and center. And Tulsi's making a point of saying, no, war is front and center. I'm against the wars. And then she's trying to link in okay, we can use these funds to rebuild our own country, so why wouldn't we do that? So there you have it. Tulsi Gabbard in Iowa on the campaign trail. And I'm sure we'll see more videos from her and others in Iowa in the near future.